ready to start the meeting, sir.
All right. Can you please determine if we have a quorum?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Bids and Awards Committee meeting, December 14, 2022. For our attendance for today, kindly acknowledge once your name is called. Our chairperson, Captain Edgardo Diaz, sir.
Present.
Vice chairperson, Attorney Roberto Martin Buenaventura.
Present.
Um, Members, Engineer Arnold Balucating,
Present.
Engineer Arnel Borlado, Miss Amnires Gabriel, Engineer Elmer Gomez.
Present.
Thank you, sir. For our provisional members, we have representatives from CSIS, General Ricardo Banayat, sir.
Present, sir. Good morning.
Also from AFS HRMD, Mr. Wilmar Montero. Good morning, sir.
Present, sir. Good morning.
ODGMISD and ANS. We also have in attendance today, Mr. Chair, the members of the Technical Working Group, BAC Secretariat, and for this meeting, we sent observers, letters to observers from the Commission on Audit, Resident Auditor, PCCI, NGO EBJFI, PICE, Internal Audit Service, PCAI, and PADPAL, Mr. Chair. Considering, Mr. Chair, that we have 5 of the 7 members of the committee, thus we have a quorum, sir.
All right. Thank you. And kamusta, Tony Ram?
Hi, sir. Doing okay naman po, sir. Still, hindi po ako continue ni Doc Rolly to return, but okay naman po, sir.
Okay. Thank you for attending. Anyway, let's proceed. Tony Ram.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, item 2.1, this is the pre-bid conference for the project tracking services for transfer of X-ray machines from CAAP main office to various airports. This is a rebid with bid number 22-019-10 amounting to 2,003,120 pesos, a CSIS project. For this, Mr. Chair, we haven't received any inquiry from prospective leaders, but for records purposes, we can proceed with the presentation from CSIS, Mr. Chair.
Okay, proceed.
CSIS, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Ms. Odessa Cortez will present today.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. For the pre-bid conference of the tracking of secured services for transfer of X-ray machine from CAAP main office to various airports, rebid project with bid number 22019-10. The invitation to bid, the CAAP, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, through corporate operating budget for FY 2022, intends to apply a sum of 2,303,120 pesos for the tracking services for transfer of X-ray machine from CAAP main office to various airports. The CAAP now invites bids to the above procurement project. Delivery of goods is within 30 calendar days. Bidders should have completed within 3 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2, Instruction to Bidders. Bidding will be conducted to an open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations of the Republic Act 9184. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizen or sole proprietorship, partnership, or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding citizens of the Philippines, and to citizens or organizations of a country and laws or regulations of which grant similar rights or privilege to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA 5183. The prospectus documents at the add Monday to Friday holidays, weekends, and suspension of work. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders until the deadline of submission of bids from Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, back office, near Road, Pasay City, and upon payment of applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 5,600. The procuring entity shall allow the bidder to submit person annual submission at the office address at 2 p.m. and or via Google Meet. Bids will be open in the presence of the bidder's representative who choose to attend the activity. The CAAP reserves the right to reject any and all bids declare a failure bidding or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with Section 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. You may visit our website for the downloading of the bidding documents as shown, the PhilJEP's website and the CAAP website. For further information, please refer to Engineer Leandro R. Vargas, the overall BAC Secretariat, Head for BAC Secretariat, CAAP, Near Road, or call through our telephone number 027-944-2358. For the instructions to bidders with the corresponding bid data sheet under Section 3, uh, for ITB 5.3 for eligible bidders. For this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be a contract tracking services or freight forwarding services for the transport of supplies to any point or any destination in the Philippines that is completed within ITB 7.1 subcontract allowed, ITB 12.0 price of goods. The price of goods shall be quoted DDP to CAAP sites or applicable international commercial terms or Incoterms for this project. ITB 14.1 for the bid security. The bid security shall be in a form of bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. The amount of not less than 40,062.40, which is equivalent to 2% of the ABC if the bid security is in cash, cashier's or manager's check, bank draft or guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit, or the amount of not less than 100,156, which is equivalent to 5% of the ABC if the bid security is in surety bond. For ITB 15.0 marking of bids, the authorized representative of the bidder submitted eligibility, technical and financial documents shall be properly marked with index tabs or ear tabs and must be sequentially paginated in accurate order in the form of page 3 of 100. Paginations should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole document inside the envelope. Each bidder shall submit one original copy of the first and second components of its bid. All pages of the bid proposal shall be signed or initialed by the principal bidder or bidder's authorized representative. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. Under ITB 19.0 or the detailed evaluation and comparison of bids, partial bid is not allowed. The goods are grouped in a single lot and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. Under ITB 20.2, for the post-qualification requirements, other appropriate documents required to be submitted during post-qualification are as shown. Latest income and business tax return, field jobs registration, and other appropriate license and permits required by law as stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award. CAAP shall thereafter award the contract to the next lowest calculated responsive bid. Under IDB 21, per CAAP memorandum dated September 17, 2018, regarding the disqualification of prospective bidder with pending case against the government in the procurement activities of CAAP, all prospective bidders shall submit, number one, certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirements for bidders as prescribed under the revised implementing rules and regulation of RA 9184. And number two, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pendency of any cases of prospective bidders against the authority. Um, For the general conditions of the contract under Section 5 for the special conditions of the contract under GCC 1.0, the delivery terms applicable to the contract are DDP delivered to CAAP Mayor Road, Pasay City, and in accordance with the Incoterms. The X-ray machines are to be delivered to the respective airports and facilities in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, as shown. 2 units of cabin baggage will be delivered to CAAP main office, Air Traffic Management Center. 2 units of cabin X-ray machine to Civil Aviation Training Center. 1 unit of cabin X-ray machine delivered to Lawag International Airport. 1 unit hold baggage to Puerto Princesa International Airport. 1 unit hold baggage for Antique Airport, and for Zamboanga Airport, 1 unit cabin baggage. For San Vicente Airport, 1 unit cabin baggage, and 1 unit. For the schedule of requirements, the project will require 30 calendar days upon receipt of the notice to proceed. As shown, where the X-ray will be delivered and the respective addresses. All in all, we have a total of 3 hold baggage X-ray machines and 7 cabin baggages to be delivered to various airports and facilities in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. For the technical specification for the hold baggage X-ray machine, the height is 191 centimeter, the width is 145 centimeters, and length 384 centimeters with a weight of 2,500 kilograms. For the cabin baggage, the height is 144 centimeter, width of 125 centimeter, length of 255 centimeter, and a total weight of 1,500 kilograms. For the checklist of technical and financial documents, for the technical component envelope, Class A documents, the legal documents, letter A, valid field jobs registration certificate, platinum membership, registration certificate from SEC, DTI for sole proprietorship or cooperative development authority for cooperatives or its equivalent document. Letter B, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of prospective bidder is located, or equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. D. Tax clearance for Executive Order 398 Series of 2005. For the technical document, statement of prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity of the contract to be bid. Letter F, statement of bidder's single largest complete contract similar to the contract to be bid, except under the conditions provided in Section 23.4.1.3 and 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. Letter G, original copy of the bid security. Letter H, conformity with the technical specification, which may include production delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and or after sales parts if applicable. Letter I, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement. Letter J, legal clearance to be issued by CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service. Letter K, certification under oath attesting that there is no pending case against the government in addition to the eligibility requirements. And letter L, bid bulletin if applicable. For the financial documents, the supplier's audited financial statement, knowing among others the supplier's total and current assets and liabilities, stamp received by BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of submission of bid. Letter N, prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. For Class B documents, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case of a joint venture already in existence. For the other documentary requirements under RA 9184, foreign bidders claiming by reason of the country's extension as reciprocal rights to Filipino certification from the relevant government office. Letter Q, certification from DTI if the bidder claims preference as domestic bidder or domestic entity. For financial component, envelope. Letter R, original or duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. And letter S, original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule. That is all, Mr. Chair. We will entertain questions po.
Mr. Chair, for the information of the committee, sir, we have here one prospective bidder who joined us, Sir Salazar Tracking Services.
Okay.
So to our prospective bidders, should you have any question, you may raise your question now. RD Salazar, please. RD Salazar, Tracking. Representative from RD Salazar. Ma'am, sir, may we request you to turn on your camera as well as your muted po. Hearing none, Mr. Chair, I think we can close this item, but we can just a reminder to our prospective bidders, sir, that they still have 10 calendar days to submit before the opening of bids to submit their written queries or clarifications, sir.
All right. Okay. So we'll proceed with the next item.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So, to our prospective bidders, thank you for attending today's preview conference, and we are looking forward for your bid submissions. So, Secretariat, please kindly remove RD Salazar from the meeting room. So moving on, Mr. Chair, the next item in our agenda is the pre-bid conference for the supply, delivery, installation, and commissioning of 1 year subscription for CAAP email services with 700 accounts. This is a rebid. Bid number 22-001-08, amounting to 3,200,000 pesos and ODG MISD project. MISD, please. And may
Morning,
I
sir.
may we require it to please
Share it po ito.
admit the prospective bid any. Go ahead, Ma'am Che.
Good morning po.
Morning.
Yes. I'm going to present the bid documents for the supply delivery installation and commissioning for the 1 year subscription for the CAAP email services of 700 accounts. This is a rebid for the bid number 22-001-08. For a background, the upper budget for the project is 3,200,000 pesos. The required delivery would be 90 days upon the issuance of the notice to proceed. The bidding will be conducted through an open competitive bidding with a non-discretionary pass or fail criteria. For further information, the bidders can make their letter addressed to Engineer Leonardo Marquez, the head BAC Secretariat. With the written is the address and the telephone number. For the bid data sheet, for ITB Clause 5.3, the bidder should comply with the following requirements. Completed at least two similar contracts. The aggregate amount of fees should be equivalent of at least 50% of the ABC for this project. The largest of these similar contracts must be equivalent to at least half of the percentage of the ABC as required above. For this purpose, the similar contract mentioned in under 1 and 2 must have completed within the period specified in the invitation to bid. Further, contracts similar to the project refer to contracts which have the same major categories of work which shall be supplied, delivery, installation, and commissioning of subscription for email services. Since this is a rebid, bid bulletin will also be issued. For ITB Clause 10.1, the legal documents must be submission of valid features registration certificate, platinum membership to include all pages, or the registration and certificate for SEC, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship, or the CDA for cooperatives or equivalent document. Also, the mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for the exclusive economic zone or areas. Next is the tax clearance, finally reviewed and approved by the BIR. Next, in connection to the GPPB Circular 07-2017 dated July 30th, 2017, the bidders shall have the following options. One, submit the certificate of PhilJobs registration and platinum members, including its Annex A, in lieu of the uploaded Class A eligibility documents. Number two, submit the combination of the PhilJobs registration and the platinum membership, including its Annex A. And number three, submit all the Class A eligibility, provided that the PhilJobs registration and platinum membership shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with the Section 34.2 of the IRRRA 9184. Next. The statement of the prospective bidders of all its ongoing government and private contract, including contracts awarded by but not yet started. This would be Annex A, Form 1, a statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, which is Annex A, Form 2, and the original copy of bid security, if the form of security bond, submit also a certificate issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. There's a form in Annex B, Form 1. Then the schedule of requirements is Annex B, Form 2. And then the conformity with the technical specification, Annex B, Form 3, which may include production and delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and after sales and parts, if applicable. The original duly signed OSS or the omnibus sworn statement that could be found in Annex B, Form 4. If if applicable, the original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or the original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and to act to represent the bidder. This shall include all of the following documents as attachment to the OSS: certification under oath attesting that they have no pending cases against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirements as prescribed under the IRR, and then the legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pending cases of the prospective bidders against this authority. And number three, bid bulletins if applicable. The prospective bidders audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total and current assets and liabilities, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of the bid submission. The prospective bidder's computation of the NFCC or the net financial contracting capacity. For the Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreements in accordance with RA 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provision of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Reminder, all applicable CAAP BAC standard forms included in this bid doc shall be complied prescribed forms under Section 8, the bidding forms Annex A and B. Modifications and or alterations of the stated requirements in the financial document forms shall not be allowed. Bid not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For ITB Clause 11.1, the second bid envelope shall contain the financial document for the bids as specified in Section 9, the checklist of technical and financial document. This shall include the complete accomplishment of all the following documents as stated: original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule. The modifications or alterations on the stated requirements in the financial and documents form shall not be allowed. Applicable CAAP standard forms included in the bid document shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed form under Section 9 by bid forms, and bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For ITB clause, excuse me, 14.1, the bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. The amount of not less than 64,000 or 2% of the ABC. If bid security is in cash, cashier's or manager's check, backdraft or guarantee, or the irrevocable letter of credit. Also, the amount of not less than 160,000 or the 5% of the ABC if bid security is in surety band. For ITB Clause 15, each and every page thereof shall be initialed, signed by the duly authorized representatives of the bidder. Submitted eligibility, technical, and financial documents shall be properly marked with the index tabs or the ear tab and must be sequentially paginated in accurate order in forms. Example, page 3 of 100, page number of last page of the document. This would be per envelope basis. Pagination should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole documents inside the envelope. Bids not complying with the above instruction shall be automatically disqualified. Each bidder shall submit one copy of the first and second components of its bid. For ITB Clause 19.1, the bidder must tender its statement or compliance conformity with bidding documents as enumerated and specified in Section 7, Technical Specifications. The form could be found at the back of the bid document for CAAP, BAC, SF, Annex B, Form 2. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For clause 19.2, partial bid is not allowed. The project is packaged in a single lot, and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. For ITB Clause 19.5, the NFCC computation or a commercial line of credit from a universal or commercial bank. The form would be on CAAP-BAC-SF Annex C Form 4. Parang wala yan. ITB Clause 20.2, the bidder with the lowest calculated bid or the LCB that complies with and it's responsive to all the requirements and conditions shall meet its latest income and business tax returns filed through the electronic filing and payment system, and then the business licenses, permits required by law, and the latest audited financial statements. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that the finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeitures of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of the IRR of the 9184. For ITB Clause 21.2, the attached technical specifications or the terms of reference for the supply, delivery, installation, and commissioning of the 1-year subscription of CAAP email services with 700 accounts shall be an integral and inseparable part of the contract. So as a reminder, applicable CAAPs, BAC, standard forms included in this bid doc shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed forms under Section 8 bidding forms. Modifications or alterations on the stated requirements in the financial document form shall not be allowed. Bids not complying with the above instruction shall be disqualified. For the special conditions of the contracts, for SEC 2.2, the terms of payment, payment of 100% of the contract price upon delivery, installation, and commissioning and acceptance of the project. And for SEC 4, inspections and tests, the inspections and tests that will be conducted shall include but not limited to the email account inventory and or whatever additional tests the technical inspection team may require. For the terms of reference, for the general objective of the project is the procure 1-year subscription of corporate email services with 700 setup and configuration for the administrators. This could be on remote or on-prem, client support, and the end users. So there must be a one session for the administrators and two sessions for the end users. Trainings to be conducted on site must provide training materials, must submit training course outlined subject to approval in the users meetings. For warranty, services units and support must be available 24/7, not more than 4 hours. This is the standard, that not more than 24 hours response time for the time of reporting via email, call, SMS, chat with 24/7 alert notification system, support and hotline for the second level or the advanced users, and then disregard the maintenance agreement for 3 years. Typo errors lang, sir. Thank you po. Hello, sir.
Mr. Chair, for the information of the committee, Mr. Chair, we have two prospective bidders who joined us today, sir. One is from Maroon Studios Incorporated, and we also have a representative from PLDT.
Okay.
At this juncture, Mr. Chair, we are now accepting questions or clarifications from prospective bidders po. Prospective bidders po, may question po kayo, Mr. EJ Juan and Mr. Rowan Escarinas.
Good afternoon, everyone. Roan po from Maroon Studios. May questions lang po ako with regards po dun sa filling out po ng mga forms.
Yes po,
Apo.
ma'am.
Sir, first question po, dun sa technical specifications, you mentioned that we need to fill out the form, the required form, but upon checking po dun sa technical specs sa bid documents, wala pong nakalagay. So, tama po ba yung assumptions ko that we will comply doon sa term of reference na lang and will not be using the technical specifications na form?
End user, please.
Sir, verify po natin kasi meron dun sa likod, may forms na nakalagay. Lalagay lang naman, Miss Rowan, kung magko-comply kayo o hindi. May table dun eh. Tsaka dun sa harapan dyan din sa technical specification. So, pag wala na lang po, baka ilagyan na lang natin ng bid bulletin. Pakitingin lang po dun sa likod ng bid bulletin. Nakalagay po lahat dun kasi yung forms.
Yes, ma'am. I am browsing, ma'am. Then, nakita ko nga po yung form. Pero yun nga po, yung sa technical specifications po nung mismong bidding documents kasi walang nakalagay. So, wala po akong ilalagay dun sa required nyo na form since nasa TOR yung mga na kailangan namin i-comply.
Yes ma'am, yung pinaka-TOR, yun po yung technical specification.
Yeah. So, hindi na namin siya kailangang ilipat dun sa required nyo na form. Pwede na dun mismo sa TOR.
Hindi ma'am.
Kailangan
Ililipat po natin, ililipat po natin yung technical specification, so yung TOR, dun po sa form na nakalagay po dun sa likod po.
Alright, got it po. Salamat ma'am for the clarification. Ma'am, second question po is for the pagination. So, ma'am, tanong ko lang if possible po ba na handwritten siya?
If I may answer that po. Yes po, ma'am, pwede pong handwritten po yung pagination provided po na yung pagination po, yung entire span ng ng document po ninyo. At the same time po, lahat po ng pages po dapat may initials or signature ng authorized representative, even yung mga signature pages po, ma'am.
I see. Salamat po. And then, follow-up question po dun sa pagination. Medyo nag-choppy po kasi kanina, sorry. So, per envelope basis siya.
Yes
so,
po, ma'am.
technical and financial, magkaiba sila ng sequencing.
Yes po.
Alright.
So sa technical po ma'am, kung halimbawa meron po kayong 100 pages, 1 to 100. Sa financial naman po, kung meron kayong 10 pages, 1 to 10 po 'yon.
I see. Sige. Salamat po, sir. And then next question po. Sorry, medyo madami. Yung sa legal clearance po that you are requiring for the OSS, required po ba ninyo, sir, na original copy ng legal clearance? I think ini-email yata ni CAAP kasi yun sa bidder. So we can just print na lang po yung soft copy.
Yes po ma'am, that is acceptable po.
I see. Thank you po. And then, sir, sorry, last question na. Kailan po kami, sir, pwedeng mag-email ng questions? Until kailan po yung deadline?
Yung deadline for submission po nito ma'am is on basta meron po kayong 10 calendar days before the submission of the bid documents po na makapag-email po kayo or makapagpadala po kayo ng questions po.
Alright, sige po. Thank you po, sir, for entertaining po all my questions po. Thank you
You're
po.
welcome po. Do we have other questions from other bidders?
Sir, good morning. Marlo from EPLDT. May question po ako regarding sa components and technical specification regarding sa 400 email accounts and specific dun sa 500 gigabyte email storage.
Yes po sir, go ahead sir.
Okay, thanks Sir Frank. Sir Frank, currently you're subscribed to Workspace, right? Google Workspace.
So,
And then, ito yan sir, yan, tama yung slides na yan. And then, etong at least 500 gigabyte storage, minimum lang to sir, no? Hindi to yung specific talaga.
sir, I'll refer you po to our end user po para mas klaro po. Miss Cheryl Walian, am I on please?
Yes, sir. Good morning po. Yes, sir. At least po, pwede
At
pong
least,
at least yung 500. So, pwede
minimum
pong mas mataas.
pwede mas
Minimum
mataas.
po siya,
Hindi
sir.
po bababa
Yes,
ng
sir.
500 gigabyte.
Hindi po
At
pwedeng
the same time,
bumaba.
hindi rin po siya specific to 500 gigabyte.
Hindi po siya specific. At least lang po siya.
At least
Minimum, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Cheryl and Sir Frank. That's for me po. Thank you.
Meron pa pong questions yung prospective bidders po natin. So, kung wala na po, reminder lang po sa prospective bidders po natin, kung may mga tanong pa po kayo or may mga gusto pa po kayo i-clarify, pwede po kayong sumulat sa back office po natin, pero dapat po na-receive po ng back office po natin 10 calendar days before the opening of bids. So, Mr. Chair, I think we can now, I think Mr.
So-
EJ, sir, would like to be recognized, sir.
Sir Frank, good morning po. Pahabol na question lang po. Tama po ba yung understanding ko, sir, dun sa kanina po about the legal clearance? We can actually request it to be sent to us na lang via email and then ipiprint na lang po namin yun, sir. Tama po?
Yes po, sir. Pwede po yun, sir.
I see. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you po.
You're welcome.
I'll follow up ELS na lang po, sir, kasi I sent a request na din sa kanila, sir. Thank you po.
You may do so, sir.
Thank you, sir.
po. Thank you po. So, Mr. Chair, I think we are now ready to close this item, sir, and proceed to the next item.
Unless there are more or other clarifications. If there is none, then let's proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Secretariat, please kindly remove the prospective bidders for this project. And we now proceed, Mr. Chair, to item 2.3. This is the procurement of manpower outsourcing contract for provision of professional and general services for for CAAP head office and area centers nationwide for a period of January 1, 2023 to December 31, 2023. Bid number 22-034-11, amounting to 587,357,327 pesos and 53 centavos. And this is an HRMD project, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Wilmar Montero, sir, is here to present on behalf of the HRMD. And may we request Secretariat to please admit prospective bidders Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Sir
Ay,
Frank.
Go ahead, Kuya Sir Will.
Thank you, Sir Frank. Tayo. Ayan.
Presentation.
Sir Frank, can you see my screen?
Wala pa po, sir.
Wala. Screen.
Presentation.
Sir Frank, can you see my screen right
Yes
now?
po. Confirm po. We can see now your screen. Presentation mode yun na lang po, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Chair. This is Wilmar from CAAP Chairman Team D. I'm going to present the
Sir, sorry,
yes,
sir. Yung screen nyo lang po, presentation mode na lang po para mas malinaw po. Maliliit po na slides ang nakalabas po.
maling slide, sir.
Maliliit po na slides.
Maliit na slide.
Yung presentation,
Akala niyo hindi ka naka-presentation mode. Naka-presentation mode ka na, sabihin mo.
Sir, naka-presentation mode na po.
it appears differently po dito sa screen po namin, sir.
Mar, wag mong i-presenters view.
The presenters.
Attorney Frank. Naka-dual monitor po yata siya. Nasa kabila yung presentation.
Skip. Ito ka mag-presentation.
Yes, okay na po.
Okay na?
Okay na, sir? Sige.
Yan na lang.
Okay. Sorry for that. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to present the project Procurement of Manpower Outsourcing contract for provisions of professional and general services for the CAAP head office and area centers nationwide for the period of January 1, 2023 to December 31, 2023 with bid number 22-034-11. For the background, the approved budget for the project is 587,357,327 pesos and 53 centavos. For the time frame of the project, this is a one-year contract which may be renewed for another year thereafter at the option of CAAP and subject to a satisfactory result of performance evaluation. For the bid data sheet, ITB closed 5.2 10.1, bidder shall submit all eligibility and technical documents as specified in Section 8, checklist of technical and financial documents. In connection to GPPB Circular 07-20 dated 31 July 2017, the bidder shall have the following options. A. Submit all eligibility of Platinum membership, including its Annex A, in lieu of the uploaded Class A eligibility documents identified in Section 8.5.2 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. B. Submit a combination of the PhilJIP's registration and Platinum membership, including its Annex A and Class A eligibility documents identified in Section 8.5.2 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. C. Submit all the Class A eligibility documents only, provided that the PhilJIP's registration and Platinum membership shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34.2 of the revised IRR of RA 91. The bidder's LCC must be a single completed contract equivalent to at least 50% of the EBC or 218 completed contracts with the aggregate amount equivalent to at least 50% of the EBC. 11.1. The second bid envelope shall contain the financial documents for the bid as specified in Section 8, checklist of technical and financial documents. The bid form, CAAP BAC SF bid form, shall be used for the bidder's sum total of its financial proposal. Under the special conditions of contract, 2.2, payment shall be made upon presentation by the winning contractor of the billing for the covered period subject to the usual accounting and auditing rules and regulation. The winning contractor shall pay taxes due in relation to the contract in full and on time. Its failure to do so shall entitle CAAP to suspend payment for the services delivered. 4.0, non-compliance or violation of terms and stipulated in a manpower outsourcing contract with CAAP shall result in the cancellation or termination of contract based on findings during periodic technical inspection to be conducted by HRMD for purposes of determining compliance of the winning contractor. Under the terms of reference, the obligations and responsibilities of the winning contractor. The winning contractor shall provide CAAP with the necessary number of a total 1,478 professional and general services support personnel, which shall handle various office works and services. CAAP shall pay the winning contractor the monthly billing rate stipulated in said contract, inclusive of the following. Number 1, basic salary. Number 2, social security system. 3, PhilHealth. 4, home development mutual fund. 5, employee compensation. 6, service incentive leave. 7, 13-month pay. 8, COLA. 9, administrative cost. And 10, value-added tax. The winning contractor, in coordination with the CAAP HRND, shall likewise establish systems and procedures that shall rationalize the implementation of following human resource management concerns of professional and general services. Number one, hiring augmentation of managed personnel deployed in CAAP. Number two, absences, tardiness, and leaves of absence. Three, usage of office supplies. Four, office discipline and decorum. Five, disciplinary actions. Six, resignations, termination, and other forms of separation. Seven, periodic work performance evaluation. Eight, conduct of basic orientation seminar on particular scope of work. For the qualifications, number one, the winning contractor should be serviceable to the CAAP head office and 12 area centers. Number two, the winning contractor should be duly registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and or the Department of Trade and Industry and or Cooperative Authority of the Philippines for at least 5 years, either as a corporation or a single proprietorship, and in case of a partnership or joint venture, at least one of the contract requirement. B, it should be duly registered and accredited by the Department of Labor and Employment as provided under Section 14, 15, and 16 of the Dole Department Order Number 18-A Series of 2011. C, it should have an existing and a valid business permit and or clearance from the Dole and other concerned government agencies to do perform activities in the CAAP. D, it should have an existing and a valid business permit and perform services at least 5 years in sourcing services and should have developed a good company image through its the winning contractor shall provide other data information relevant to of number of years in business, installation of cleaning, sanitation, relevant operations such as the sanitizing equipment or system. Number five, the winning contractor shall properly train and thoroughly screen its personnel prior to deployment. Number one, Filipino citizen. Number two, be of good moral character and reputation without any criminal or police record, physically and mentally fit to perform their duty, have been tested negative for the use of any prohibited drug, possess corresponding license as needed, not less than 18 years of age and preferably not more than 55. Must be willing to work in the assigned place of work and have all the qualifications and none of the disqualification under the qualification standards set by CAAP. Number six, the CAAP reserves the right to examine and screen all applicants to determine whether or not the applicants possess all the qualification standards set by this office. Whenever necessary, as requested by the CAAP or its duly authorized representative, the winning contractor hereby consents and agrees to make the financial statement, licenses, time records, and all pertinent documents of outsourced personnel assigned at CAAP available for examination. For the work assignment, the winning contractor shall provide professional and general services support personnel to the head office and 12 area centers of CAAP to wit. Um, Head office 410, for area center 1 18, area center 2 26, area center 3 57, area center 4 62, area center 5 73, area center 6 to 237, area center 7 139, area center 8 51, area center 9 68, area center 10 157, area center 11 97, area center 12 83 with a total number of 1,478. For the working hours, the winning contractor shall provide services at least 5 days or 40 hours a week, and the CAP shall prescribe the time or schedule of work to be followed by the personnel. Work may be rendered as necessary during the off-peak hours during legal holidays. And some may be required to perform services beyond their prescribed working time or schedule. Thank you. That would be all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, the user as well as the technical working group, sir, are now ready to accept questions from our prospective leaders. We have here, Mr. Chair, in the meeting room, representatives from LServe Corporation, and we also have Miss Carmen Honson Amorao. So,
Okay.
to our prospective leaders, the floor is now open for clarifications or questions, should you have any.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, good morning.
I'm Attorney Tuazon from LServe Corporation po.
Yes po, ma'am. Go ahead po.
Apo. Regarding terms of reference item 15 po, penalties for violations. Just clarification lang po, no? Kasi po, di ba nakalagay po dun sa penalties for violations that we will still observe naman due process under DOLE guidelines and in terms of determining liability and negligence for the light and grave offenses is under. No po. So, ano yun, ang request lang po sana na, is it possible that during implementation po, the winning bidder can agree on the proceeding this provision? Kasi I understand naman po na ano yun, detailing this further here is no longer possible. This is already a published document. So, yung concerns lang naman po is how violations are determined, how the due process will be implemented, considering that supposedly disciplinary actions of the employees should be the responsibility of us as employer. So, kung sa serving DOLE procedure of due process, then that's our responsibility. We are concerned we do not want to be tied by an initial decision already of CAAP. So, siguro po, can it be subject to determination or negotiations as to actual.
Sir. Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you for that question. Are you referring for the penalty page 48? Is that
Yes.
correct?
48 po, penalties for violations.
We can discuss that for the implementation stage. Also, considering that airport are not an ordinary facilities, and this is also to guarantee that the winning contractor shall maintain the implementation of discipline to personnel deployed at CAAP. But of course, we will strictly observe the due process according to labor law, and we can provide or discuss further the implementation of the guidelines during the implementation stage. Sorry.
Um, another comment and request din po in terms of page 49, item 16. So for suspension, cancellation, or termination of contract. So my concern is for item 1 and 2. So for these items, there's a possibility that the contract will be terminated for willful and intentional or negligent acts our employees causes or that causes death, physical injury, or damage to property. So we understand this is probably based on the provisions on the liability of the employer for the acts and omissions of its employees, because we are responsible for them. But our concern is, even in law naman po, there's also a defense on the part of on the part of an employer that it exercises due diligence in the selection and supervision of employees. We just feel that this might be too harsh penalty for the employer, especially when this is, for example, a crime committed by our employees that's not really and 100% within our. Also, another thing that we would ask the Honorable Back to consider is yung pong fact na, as a matter of fact, in the implementation of this contract, most of the employees are vetted, vetted naman po ng CAAP. So, sana lang po, bigyan po kami ng consideration, especially if this is, for example, really something that can be determined as an act lang po talaga ng empleyado.
Sir? Yes. Ma'am, with regards, correct me if I heard it right. That's page 49.
Yes, sir.
Medyo choppy kasi, ma'am. Suspension, cancellation, or termination of contract. Are you referring for that item?
Yes po. Correct po. Items 1 and 2 are our major concerns, because our concern would be that we don't really 100%, we cannot really 100% control the acts and omissions of our employees. And sometimes, damage to property, death, or serious injury is criminal acts, for instance. And what I was raising is that I understand that this provision might be based on the vicarious liability of employer, but even under the law po, there's a possibility for the employer to defend himself against that we are diligence in selection and supervision. So, we just feel na sana po mabigyan ng leeway for us to defend ourselves against or separate ourselves from, for example, really acts and omissions of our employees that are deliberate or criminal already. We are raising for your consideration the fact that in the implementation of the project, most of the employees naman po are we absorb upon recommendation din naman po ng CAAP.
Sure. Yes. Noted on that, with regards to implementation of item 1 and 2, yes, as I've said earlier, there should be a due process first. So, the person na intentionally na-commit niya yung negligence and cause death or inflict or serious and we can, during the implementation stage, we can provide another guidelines regarding implementation of suspension, cancellation, or termination with regards to item 1 and 2.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much po.
Any other question from our prospective bidders?
Good morning. I'm Jun Canlas, the same from Elser Corporation.
Yes, sir. Go ahead po.
My clarification, if I may refer the committee on page 81 of the terms, summary of bid proposal. We noted that under this bid form, number 2, there is already amount indicated in the form. And we believe that form number 2 is consistent with form number 1. And as is stated under bid data sheet, page 19 of 89, modifications and or alterations of the stated requirement in the financial document forms shall not be allowed. So my clarification, Mr. Chair, is considering that there is already an amount indicated in the bid form, and for us to officially submit our proposal, definitely, well, of course, in coming up with a figure, of the figure indicated therein, as per our initial computation, is not consistent with the amount indicated using the form number one. So we would like to clarify the composition cost component of the amount summary of the proposal if the bank allow to disclose. I understand that the said amount are used for budget reference of the committee, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, if I may respond to that, sir.
Go ahead, Dr.
Station, sir. We will the HRMD will go back to the forms one and two that you are referring to, and we will just issue the necessary bid bulletin if there is any changes that will be reflected in those forms, sir. Forms one and two, sir. We will just issue and we will revisit, sir, the forms as indicated.
Thank you, sir. In addition, sir, Annex C form number one, there is this COLA indicated. So we would like to know or to clarify the reference or our basis for us to come up with the COLA amount.
And you, sir, please.
Sir? Sir, yung reference namin sa COLA is the DOLI rules and regulation.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, sir, if I may, ano sir, kung tama yung narinig namin dun sa reply, the COLA refers to, or dun sa DOLE rules, ganun po ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kasi if I may, ano sir, sa existing contract natin, meron din po tayong COLA, no? Under our existing contract. And from the previous TOR, it is clearly stated there that 10% of the basic is the computation of COLA. So for this, ano po, since ang sagot lang po is from DOLE, we believe na wala pong malinaw na reference as far as DOLE is concerned when it comes into computation ng COLA, unless sa mga wage order po, may nakapaloob doon, halimbawa wage order and then may COLA. But currently po, sa wage order natin of 570 sa minimum wage, wala po kasing COLA nakapaloob dun sa DOLE wage po, ano. Pero dun sa existing contract natin, meron po doon na 10% of the basic pay ng employee. So are we going to apply the same percentage po just to be consistent with our existing contract and clear reference po how we come up with the COLA amount?
Mr. Chair, if I may respond, sir. Yeah.
Go, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir, again, thank you, and we take note of your observation, sir, dun sa reference ng COLA po. Siguro, sir, what we can do, sir, we can go back again to the references for the computation of the COLA, sir, and we will just issue again, sir, bid bulletin bulletin if necessary po to clarify this provision as you are referring to po. Unless HRMD has other comments on that. Sir Wilmar?
Noted in that, Sir Frank, will check the reference. But based on the computation of HRND, that's 10% based on wage order of ECR. But we'll verify it first further.
Thank you, Sir Wilmar. Any other questions, sir?
Thank you, sir. Another clarification is considering on the same form, page 679 on the form number 1, there is this column for overtime pay. And we noted under the terms of reference that overtime shall be billed separately. So are we going to fill this column intended for the overtime to be included on the cost breakdown of the financial form? If we're going to include, considering there is no indicated basis for us to come up with the overtime estimate. So can we clarify, Mr. Chair, if you're going to fill the column for overtime?
Sir? Sir, night differential, it will be billed separately, provided the provisions of TOR, particularly in item 3, the obligations and responsibilities of the winning contractor must be complied.
Thank you, sir. Short, sir, this column would not be applicable to this representation under Form 1.
Yes, sir. Noted, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
Yeah, part of LSR, Mr. Chair, under contract of professional and general services, we have no clarifications. Thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, Mr. Chair, we can now close this item, sir, and proceed to the next.
All right. Let's proceed to the next item.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Chair. Just a reminder to LSERV, sir, should you have further clarifications or questions, you may send your written queries po sa back office po natin 10 calendar days before the opening of bid po. Maraming salamat po. So moving on, Mr. Chair, item 2.4, this is also a pre-bid conference for the project Procurement of Manpower Outsourcing for provision of janitorial services for CAAP head office and area centers nationwide for the period January 1, 2023 to December 31, 2023, bid number 22-035-11 amounting to 569,269 pesos and 61 centavos. HRMD will present for this project, Mr. Chair. And we also have same bidders, prospective bidders for this project, sir.
All right.
Yeah. Sir Frank, can you see my screen?
Sir, wala pa po yung presentation.
Right now, sir.
Yes po, Sir Wilmar. Okay na po.
Thank you, Sir Frank. Okay, again, this is Wilmar from CAAP R&D. I'm going to present the project Procurement of Manpower Outsourcing for contract for the provision of janitorial services for the CAAP head office and area centers nationwide for the period of January 1, 2023 to December 31, 2023 with bid number 22-035-11. For the background, the approved project for this project is 559,869,269 pesos and 61 centavos. The time frame for the project is 1 year contract, which may be renewed for another year thereafter at the option of CAAP and subject to a satisfactory result of the performance evaluation. For the bid data sheet, ITB close 5.3. Uh, Item A, provision of manpower services contracts equivalent to the following. One, single contract equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC for this project, or similar contracts with aggregate amount equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC for this project, the largest of which must be equivalent to at least 25% of the ABC for this project, completed within the last 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. ITB Clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. 10.1, bidders shall submit all eligibility and technical documents as specified in Section 8, checklist of technical and financial documents. And in connection with GPPB Circular 07-2017, dated July 31, 2017, the bidder shall have the following options. A. Submit a certificate of LGIP's registration and platinum membership, including its Annex A, in lieu of uploaded Class A eligibility documents identified in Section 8.5.2 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. B. Submit a combination of the LGIP's registration and platinum membership, including its Annex A and Class A eligibility documents identified in Section 8.5.2 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. C. Submit all the Class A eligibility documents only, provided that the 12 JIPS registration and platinum membership shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34-2 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. 10.2, the bidder's SLCC must be a single completed contract equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC or two completed contracts with the aggregate amount equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. 11.1, the second bid envelope shall contain the financial documents for the bid as specified in Section 8, checklist of technical and financial documents. The bid form, CAAP BAC is F bid form, shall be used for the bidder's sum total of its financial proposal. Under special conditions of contract, GCC Clause 2.2, payment shall be made upon presentation by the winning contractor of the billing for the covered period subject to the usual accounting and auditing rules and regulations. The winning contractor shall pay taxes due in relation to the contract in full and on time. Its failure to do so shall entitle CAAP to suspend payment for the services delivered. 4.0, non-compliance or violation of terms and conditions stipulated in the manpower outsourcing contract with CAAP shall result in the cancellation or termination of the contract based on findings during periodic technical inspection to be conducted by its R&D for purposes of determining compliance of winning contractor. Under the terms of reference, Obligations and responsibilities. The winning contractor shall provide CAAP with necessary number of total of 1,855 janitorial personnel, which shall handle various office works and services. Shall pay the winning contractor the monthly billing rate stipulated in the said contract, inclusive of the following: number one, basic salary; number two, social security system; number three, PhilHealth; number four, home development mutual fund; number five, employee compensation; number six, service incentive leave; seven, 13-month pay; eight, COLA; nine, administrative cost; and 10, value-added tax. The winning contractor, in coordination with the CAAP HRD, shall likewise establish systems and procedures that shall rationalize the implementation of the following human resource management concerns of janitorial services. Number one, hiring or augmentation of managed personnel deployed in CAAP. Number two, absences, tardiness, and leaves of absence. Number three, usage of office supplies. Number four, office discipline and decorum. Number five, disciplinary actions. Number six, resignations, termination, or other forms of separation. Number seven, periodic work performance evaluation. Number eight, conduct a basic orientation seminar on the particular scope of work. Um, the winning contractors shall be serviceable to the CAAP head office and 12 area centers. And the winning contractor shall be item A, duly registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and or the Department of Trade and Industry and or Cooperative Authority of the Philippines for at least 5 years, either as corporation or a single proprietorship. In the case of a partnership or joint venture, at least one of the contractors meet the requirement. B, it should be duly registered and credited by the Department of Labor and Employment as provided under Circular 14, 15, and 16 of the Dole Department Order Number EA Series of 2011. It should have an existing valid business permit and or clearance from the Department of Labor and Employment and other concerned government agencies to do perform and or engage in business as herein specified. Qualifications. The winning contractor should have at least 5 years continuous actual work experience in rendering outsourcing services and should have developed a good company image to its reliability, efficiency, and effectiveness in its work performance. Item 4, the winning contractor shall provide other data information relevant to operations such as the number of years in business, and if also engaged in related business of sealing, designing, and or installation of cleaning, sanitizing equipment or system. Following contractor shall properly train and thoroughly screen its personnel prior to deployment. One, it must be a Filipino citizen. Number two, be of good moral character and reputation without any criminal or police record, physically and mentally fit to perform their duty, having tested negative for the use of any prohibited drug, possess corresponding license as needed, not less than 18 years of age and preferably not more than 55, must be willing to work in an assigned place of work and have all the qualifications and none of the disqualifications under qualification standards set by CAAP. Item 6, the CAAP reserves the right to examine and screen all applicants to determine whether or not the applicant possess all the qualification standards set by this office. Whenever necessary, as requested by the CAAP or its duly authorized representative, the winning contractor shall provide his or her financial statements, claim records, and all pertinent documents of source personnel assigned at CAAP available for examination. For work assignment, the work contractor shall provide janitorial services support personnel to the head office and 12 area centers with the following distribution. Central office, we have 100. Area Center 1, 40. Area Center 2, 43. Area Center 3, 96. Area Center 4, 121. Area Center 5, 134. Area Center 6, 356. Area Center 7, 149. Area Center 8, 114. Area Center 9, 146. Area Center 10, 274. Area Center 11, 278. Area Center 12, 104, a total of 1,855. Working hours, the winning contractor should provide services at least 5 days, working days, or 40 hours a week, and the CAAP shall prescribe the time or schedule of work to be followed by the personnel. Work may be rendered as necessary during legal and special public holidays, and some may be required to perform services beyond their prescribed working time or schedule. For the cleaning materials, supplies, and tools, the winning contains sufficient amount of cleaning supplies, enough for scheduled cleaning activities throughout the duration of the contract. The materials and supplies shall be delivered at the respective workplace assignment. Head office, area centers 1 to 12 and airports. In addition, the winning bidders shall provide janitorial tools and equipment for the entire duration of contract. The consumables is equivalent to 21,154 pesos and 47 centavos per janitor janitress in a year are as follows. So head office, we have 4,355,828. Area Center 1, we have 537,868. Area Center 2, we have 1,301. Area Center 3, we have 2,599,631. Area Center 4, we have 3,998,941 pesos. Area Center 5, we have 2,706,169. Area Center 6, 7,147,924. Area Center 7, we have 1,358,344. Area Center 8, we have 2,687,188. Area Center 9, we have 1,135,701. Area Center 9, we have 3,544,829. We have Area Center 11, we have 5,515,399. Area Center 12, we have 3,343,424. We have a total amount of 39,241,546. Um, that would be all for the janitorial services, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Um, Mr. Chair, we also have serve here and Miss Carmen Johnson Amorao, prospective leaders for these projects, sir. To
Okay,
our
sir.
prospective leaders. Yes, sir.
All right.
To our prospective leaders, the floor is now open for clarifications or questions. We and po from El Serve or Miss Amorao.
Morning po. Attorney Quazon ulit from ELSER. Reiterating lang po what I said earlier in terms of our concerns on the penalties for violations provisions and suspension, cancellation, or termination of contracts, since these provisions were also in the previously discussed terms of reference. So same concern that we request that during implementation, the winning bidder and CAAP be allowed to negotiate terms and conditions for the implementation of these provisions.
Sir Wilmar.
Yes po, noted po yan, ma'am. We'll discuss with regards to the guidelines in the implementation of that penalty. And sir, for the clarification also regarding the technical parameters set, the which is included in the TOR in page 31, TOR item A-1, the phrase manpower outsourcing refers to janitorial services that is to guarantee that we have sufficient years of experience in the said services.
Any other questions po?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chair. From LSER, June Canlas. Um, the same clarification under page 71 as far as form number one. I'd like to clarify again the COLA. At the same time, the overtime and the night differential, wherein it's indicated below the form 10% and 5% respectively. But we'd like to clarify the basis of the 10% and 5%, sir.
That's why I asked it.
Sir, for the janitorial services, sir, the overtime and the night differential is included in the computation. But of course, the COLA, sir, that is noted. We'll check the reference for that.
We'll just issue, sir, bid bulletin, should it be necessary to reflect any changes or clarifications po dun sa reference ng COLA po.
Yes, thank you, sir. Just a follow-up. Yes, the overtime is indicated a percentage of 10. So our clarification is the basis of that 10%. 10% of the basic pay or the reference of that 10%, sir.
And user, please.
Yes, sir, that is the 10% of the basic pay with regards to overtime.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions po? From LServe or from Miss Amurao?
Yeah, Secretary, under clarification from LSERV. On the under section 7, terms of reference, part 7, as far as the qualification standard set under the terms of reference for supervisor, that it should be a so since the supervisor to be assigned is employed under the service provider, do we really need to set a qualification as far as the eligibility of the said supervisor, Mr. Chair?
And user, please.
Yes, sir, that is the requirements. We should comply with regards to the eligibility.
Hindi pa pwede requirement nila. So, kaya yeah, yes, sir. We are, well, of course, this is involves during the implementation. If we're going to be awarded with contract, our request is considering that the position is just for supervisor. And, of course, the minimum requirement for this position kasi is merely a high school graduate. Of course, experience with the supervisory and all. The career civil service eligibility, we feel that it's more than the requirement, Mr. Chair, considering the position and the functions that this personnel, being a janitorial supervisor, can rate it. If you may just,
Well, sir, sir. Regarding the qualification standard for the supervisor, sir, we can implement that liberally since we don't want also to displace some of our personnel serving CAAP for a longest period na. Then uh, it depends on how we evaluate further with regards to the selection process.
Go ahead.
Sir, Yung requirements po, yung sa eligibility requirements as indicated po diyan, for now po yun po yung requirement po talaga, but we will go back po dun sa we will re-evaluate po, and again, as mentioned po by Sir Wilmar, maybe during the implementation it can be adjusted or what, but for the meantime po yan po yung requirements, and sa review po ng HRMD kung kailangan po baguhin po yan, mag-i-issue lang din po kami ng bid bulletin, but this will be evaluated na lang din po by HRMD as per your manifestation din po.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another clarification, sir. Uh, Insofar as SSS and PhilHealth computation, we missed to ask this, no, to clarify this on the other contract that just completed earlier. Basis for SSS and PhilHealth, kasi coming 2023, there's an increase in premium ano po, for SSS from existing 13%, effective 2023 January, it would be 14%, an increase of 1%. Same as from PhilHealth, from existing of 3.5%, come January 2023, it would be 4%.
4.5.
4.5, I'm sorry. So, clarification is, for this bidding, what premium are we going to use? Is the existing 2022, or are we going to adjust the proposal in compliance with the 2023 premium, sir?
Sir Wilmar, please.
Sir, the mandatory contribution of the personnel. We use the 2022, but we have the provisions that we can adjust when there will be a changes based sa pag-ibig law, PhilHealth law, and SSS.
Okay, noted on that.
Any questions pa po?
Any other question?
Okay, sige. For answer, sir,
Go ahead, sir. Do you have any other question? Wala na?
for answer po, sir, no clarifications po. We're good, thank you.
All right, thank you. I think no more question, attorney. So
Thank
we
you, Mr.
can.
Chair.
Yep.
Yeah. We also have, sir, here from Dear Johnson Services Incorporated, Miss Carmen Amorao. Ma'am, do you have any questions po?
Sir, no, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So with that, Mr. Chair, we can now close this item, sir, as we are done with our the clarifications of from our bidders.
All right.
To our prospective bidders, thank you for participating today's pre-bidding conference. So, antayin na lang po namin yung mga submissions po ninyo. And a reminder lang po, pwede pa po kayo mag-submit ng queries or clarification opening of bids. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Thank you, sir. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Secretariat, please kindly excuse our bidders. Mr. Chair, the next item in our agenda, item 2.5 and 2.6, Mr. Chair, these are ANS projects, supply delivery of spare parts of airfield lighting system for various airports, and the supply and delivery of installation of 2x40 VA for uninterrupted power supply of at Davao International Airport. But for the information of the committee, Mr. Chair, the back office received a letter from ANS. Allow me, sir, to share my screen. Um, just today, Mr. Chair, this is a memorandum for the chairperson of the Bids and Awards Committee from Mr. Florian Atienza, the acting chairperson of the this is in relation to the next two and inspect projects for which is supposed to scheduled for pre-bidding today. And the recommendation, sir, in the content of this memo, sir, is that the end user is requesting for the cancellation of these two projects on the ground that these projects are no longer funded in the 2023 budget of the ANS. So considering that that time left for 2022, sir, we cannot finish the conduct of the award of this project within 2022. So they are requesting for the cancellation by invoking the reservation clause that it doesn't have budget for 2023, sir. For the requesting guidance, sir, from approval of this from the Bids and Awards Committee, sir.
Okay, just a question, no, for my understanding. What will happen to this project now? It will be moved to next year?
Um, may I request, sir, the end user to enlighten the committee, sir?
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning.
Yes,
Sir, regarding your question, for the capital outlay project of for display and installation of the UPS at Davao, it will be moved to the proposed budget for 2024
okay.
since we do not have capital outlay projects for 2023
All right.
sa operations po ng site. For the spare parts po ng airfield lighting system, it will be moved to next year. Kasi po meron po kaming budget para sa repairs and maintenance.
Okay.
Also sir, the reason why we recommended the cancellation for the procurement of the spare parts for the airfield lighting system kasi po ma-award siya next year. So, and ma-deliver next year. So, po yung program of work na magagawa namin. Baka kami ma-flag ng COA why we duplicated the program.
Okay. Sige, understood. All right. So, again, attorney, what is the recommendation?
The request of the end user, sir, is to cancel these projects. Number one, supply, delivery, installation of 2 by 40 kVA and 10 kVA 220 volts to 3 phase 60 hertz uninterruptible power supply at Davao International Airport. And the second project is for the supply delivery of spare parts of airfield lighting system for various airports. So the recommendation, sir, the TWG is also recommending, based on this memo from the end user, sir, for the cancellation, we are also recommending for the approval of this cancellation, sir.
All right. Any motion?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, sir.
Sir, I move to adopt the recommendation of the technical working group to cancel the procurement activities for the two projects of ANS for reason that there is no budget for the capex and also for the spare parts for airfield system as mentioned on the letter submitted by the ANS. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Seconded, Mr. Chair.
All right. So, moved and seconded. We adopt the recommendation and adopt the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir, With your permission, sir, we have two other matters. The post-coalition report for the Security Service Area Center 1. This will be presented by CSIS TWG, Engineer Odessa Cortez. And the second one, sir,
Okay.
is
Okay. So we have completed all the pre-bid conference, no?
yes
2.1
po,
to
sir.
2.6, no? So this is now other matters ba ito or pending ito?
Um, Actually, sir, nakaschedule po sana siya for yesterday. But
Uh, okay.
so
But we canceled
CS
it.
CSIS is requesting to present it today, sir.
All right. Sige. If there is no objection, then we'll proceed.
By the way, sir, MISD, sir, is also requesting, sir, to include the discussion on the final decision of the Bids and Awards Committee on the 156 unique desktop. Um, be it recalled, Mr. Chair, during our previous meeting, you gave the instruction to give 10 minutes for the MISD to present the items requested by the committee, sir.
Teka muna. Time now is 11:52. Uh, Let us proceed with the security muna, MISD or sa CSIS.
CSIS, sir, is ready to present now, sir.
Okay. So we'll proceed muna with the CSIS.
Chair.
Once again, sir, post, ano? Ano yung tawag? Post qualification.
All right, sir.